Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. I don't need the clipboard today because I'm going to talk about the Serge. I just recently played in a 2-day Pro event that was sponsored by one of the chapters in our PGA, Carolinas PGA. And I played with another gentleman who will be a senior in about a year or two. But as you know, me being 61, I'm definitely a senior golfer. Now, I haven't been playing golf that much. I mean, a big day for me is to sneak out and play, get a whole 9 holes in. A lot of times I might even just take my bag and walk 3 or 4 holes sometimes if I don't have much time. So I just want to keep swinging, and try to keep the swing groove so I can at least make good swings over here on the camera when I'm doing these daily blogs, and especially when I'm doing golf lessons in golf schools, to be able to demonstrate properly. But I haven't really, since I've had my heart surgery about a year and a half ago now, I haven't played a whole lot of golf, and this was my first tournament. But recently, in about the last, I'd say as much as 6 months, I've been really fighting hitting some really bad shots for me. And I mean really bad in the sense that every now and then I've been hitting that hosel rocket. And from these videos that I shoot in the morning, and from playing one time with DJ a while back, and with a few friends who've been around my brother Kenny, they've been telling me that I've been actually drifting a little bit forward in my forward swing, in my backswing. I'm actually coming up, and I'm almost, as I'm getting to the top, instead of bumping, I'm actually drifting forward. And if you get too far ahead, you could start hitting them a little bit deep, and start hitting a lot of blocks to the right. And then the thing that really was killing me, the ball was way too far forward. I actually been up in here like this, and so now I think the sliding came because the ball was too far forward. So in trying to put the ball back, I was still hitting an occasional hosel rocket, and even with some long irons, which it's easy to hit a hosel rocket with a sand wedge, pitching wedge, or a 9/8, maybe a 7 iron, but it's you don't see people hit them too much with a long iron. I was even doing them with those. So fortunately, just before this tournament, I figured out what the big issue was. And with the ball back, I'd finally figured out I was still tending to leave it forward a little bit too often, but I wasn't hitting that bad a shot. But the whole key was that I'm setting up preloaded heavy right, and as I was coming up, I was already pushing off on my right leg way too soon. In other words, you have to find your bell position, which is right about here, out from my ear. When I hit that bell and I ring that bell in my hand, I ring my bell on the way up, then I start my bump. But I was actually, my whole body was drifting forward. My left shoulder was drifting forward. So the way I cured it was I started to feel like I had to stay more connected to the ground with my right foot. So I got in there preloaded heavy right, and I really concentrated that. When I came back, I really felt myself really sink onto my right leg and really feel my right foot, the whole flat of my foot, especially the back of the ball of my foot and my heel, to really feel like those were really heavy onto the ground, really well connected. And the key was, I started to really feel that I had to keep that connection till basically impact. Because if I'm pushing off too soon, and it doesn't take much to get ahead of the ball, it was just gaining a feeling of what I had to. And see, here's that word, feeling. If you want to play good golf, you get rid of the mechanics. You have to get to the feel. Feeling that I was connected to the ground a little longer on my right leg. Now notice my knee is starting to move in like it has to when I bump. All right, I just can't let that foot push me up a little too fast, and it doesn't take much. Normally, when I play well, my back foot is if it's off the ground, it's like you could barely put a sheet of paper under it. All right. But if it's up high enough where I could stick a finger or two underneath of it, then I'm in big trouble because I'm way too far forward. So I just kept the feeling of the inside of my right foot more on the ground a little bit longer, and all the way to impact, which keeps me behind the ball more. So when I'm behind, and as I've always said, if you want to hit the ball straight to a little draw, your head has to stay behind the ball. It can never move forward until after impact. Your head has to be behind the ball. It cannot move forward until after impact, and I was moving forward before impact. So I'm just working on keeping that down, and in a blink of an eye, in the blink, a snap of a finger, that's how fast it'll pop up. So in the end, I think I'm actually popping up better, because all of a sudden the other final result of all of this is that I'm getting up to a better tee finish and in balance. DJ was telling me last time we played, he said, Dad, you don't ever really get to your finish and hold it anymore. Well, it's pretty hard to hold it when I'm already here and slightly ahead of the shoulders ahead of my feet to pull up, and then you have to walk backwards so you don't fall backwards. So I guess the key is to simplify all this. I just started wanting to feel more connection of my right foot to the ground and keep it connected till it felt like impact, till I was right at impact. And you can see the finish is getting a lot more in balance. The left knee's staying flexed, and I'm there. Bang, and I walk out like the old Serge, or the Serge of old. When I was hitting the ball solid and straight, and really solid is the key, because I've been hitting a lot of really thin shots lately, and as I said, I got to admit, and I hate to say this, I was hitting a few hosel rockets, and so and those are the worst. So if you're getting ahead of the ball and thinning them a lot, and you really want the preloaded heavy right, the key is to maintain it till impact. Bingo, and you get to that finish. All right, well, that's what the Serge doing surgery on himself for a change. All right, and sometimes if you want to get better, you got to think about yourself and think about your setup and your swing and go back to your basics, and that's what I finally did with the help of a few people give me some advice. Well, I'm feeling a lot better about my swing and hitting the ball a lot better, and so if you ever see me at a lesson or whatever, I'll be able to demonstrate some good shots. All right, and that's what we want, to hit them more solid and straight, because that's how you shoot lower scores. And that's it for the Serge for today on my revelation, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.